this store. So I had this idea for a video. I want to buy everything in the store.
I don't think you can do this all by yourself.
I don't think you should speak anymore.
We just didn't have enough people and we were running out of time before the store closed.
So I brought some friends. You might be wondering, why are we buying all this stuff? Well, we're buying it because we want to give it to charity, like a food bank, a homeless shelter, or if a random guy on the street wants beans, we'll just give it to him. So we're at a food bank and we're gonna give them food.
We've talked to soup kitchens that have told us that like they got cleared out and they didn't know where their next donation was coming from, and like to hear that and to see how it changes their lives is just an incredible experience.
Well, we serve anywhere from 1,000 to 1,500 people a week. Couldn't have come at a better time.
It's your lucky day. This is all free.
Thank you.
We have people come up to us, you know, just randomly every day, all the time, telling us they're so thankful for it.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Beast.
Thank you, Mr. B.
Yeah, I appreciate them right here, man. We're gonna shout out Mr. Beast for looking out for the community.
Being over here in this Eastern North Carolina community has been fantastic. We can call so-and-so and say, hey, we need this location. And it's like, sure, no problem. They just love being part of what it is that he stands for and what it is that the channel's doing.
It's a win-win all around. Like the people we help is because the videos we make, we take the money from the videos to help people, and it creates a cycle and viewers get content they enjoy, and really just about everyone involved just comes out with a win. Put it on up. Yeah! I've never ran a restaurant before. All right, come on in, everybody. And then I opened the world's first free restaurant. It was a restaurant, but everything was free. Basically, we went to a restaurant owner and we were like, hey, I want to use your restaurant. They didn't think we were being serious. And we tried to explain to the owner of this restaurant that we have 40+ million subscribers and that like, I want to open a restaurant for a day. And they didn't really think that many people would come to our restaurant. The second we put up the signs, right, free food, the lines started piling up quick. We thought if we rented the field, this giant field beside the restaurant, that'd be fine. The drive-through line goes through the parking lot, then it goes to the field, and it zigzags. That should be good, right? What's up, boys? Welcome. What can I get you? So we serve a few dozen people, and the line is just growing and growing and growing. It goes out the parking lot, goes through the field, through another parking lot, and it started backing up traffic. Hi, here.
So we were stuffing bags full of cash. We were going out throwing cash to people everywhere we could. We were giving out video game consoles to kids.
Here's a brand new iPad.
We're just like throwing bags out the window. At one point, we're just grabbing money and just throwing it in their cars to keep them moving because they couldn't cook the food fast enough.
Thank you.
No problem. Are you crying? Oh, she's gonna make me cry. The head of the police kept telling me like the line's getting too long in the road. He's like, it's a mile long. And then he's like, it's 2 miles long. And they're like, literally, it felt like an hour later. He's like, dude, the line's like 20 miles long. It went really well. We had a lot of people come. It was a really good video. We were able to feed a lot of people.
And that just started him thinking about what's the next step that I can take.
This is my food pantry. We have over 50,000 pounds of food here in this warehouse, and we're doing weekly deliveries to communities in need. I made a completely separate YouTube channel called Beast Philanthropy, and 100% of all the ad revenue, all the brand deals, all the merch I sell on that channel will go towards running the food bank, and I'm gonna make videos around the food bank. How many hundreds of thousands of people can this food bank feed if it's fully funded by a YouTube channel? You know what I mean? And the content on the channel is the food bank.
Every view on this channel is literally putting food in people's mouths, like this.
Was that a Sharpie? Yeah. Helping people's fun.
I just want to help them. I want to use the money to grow a food bank that supports tens of thousands of families if possible.
So what we're doing is we're having food banks across America. The first food banks will be in North Carolina, and then we'll scale them out across the United States and hopefully internationally at some point.
Right now, I really just want to learn all these nuances and actually learn how to help people as effectively as possible. And then, yeah, just as I make more money in my life, just do it at scale.
One thing that's been, truly special for me to watch was what, really started early on with Jimmy is just giving away money so people could click and watch and have some kind of shock and awe with that content has really changed into a greater effort to have an impact on the world.
My channel has billions of views, and those are real people. It's not just numbers on a screen. And a large chunk of that are on videos where we help people and we did good. And so, now that you got me thinking about it, yeah, the videos that got 50+ million views of me giving away money probably did inspire those 50 million people to go give money to other people. I don't really think about it much, but yeah.
I get a story from a family where an 11, 12-year-old kid said, no presents. I'm not taking any presents. I want anything that you want to give me to be a donation to the future, Mr. Beast charity. I believe in what he's doing, and I want to be part of it. Getting feedback stories from parents like that they're saying thank you for the positive role model that your son is becoming for us. That behind the scenes stuff, it's just truly amazing.
I put out a tweet and I have tons of people coming here tomorrow to plant trees.
The idea of this kind of philanthropy through an online campaign, through influencers, feels like it is the future. There's like a communal aspect to it. It's not just about giving your money, it's about joining a team. You gave your money, you're officially part of something bigger than yourself. That type of philanthropy does more to move people's hearts and change behaviors.
Just because you can't do something massive like me doesn't mean what you're doing isn't important. Tipping a pizza delivery guy a few extra dollars is cool. Or even better, just doing something unique and even more unexpected, like compliment someone or randomly mow your neighbor's lawn. It might seem minuscule, but obviously if millions of you do it, it has a very macro impact, and it does start with you. Go give away money! Yeah!
Jimmy's future is without boundaries. I see the philanthropy growing as big as his social media presence. The whole world is a playground, and it'll be amazing what he will get accomplished in the next couple of years.
Congratulations on your brand new car. No one's ever done this before, and I don't even know how this is going to work out. In a perfect world, over the next few decades, I make tens of millions, hundreds of millions, billions, whatever it is. And then when I'm 50, I'm just all right, I have all this money. And then we just go open up, a few thousand homeless shelters or food banks. I don't know what it is. What I do know is I want to help people.
So this idea of using his influence to make the world a better place, while at the same time, making that kind of cool and normalizing it for other people to do the same, I honestly think that's his guiding principle. And he's killing it.
Jimmy's heart is to make a change in this culture. He does it really honestly because that's just what he loves to do.
I like helping people because it just makes me happy and it makes me feel good. I like seeing their faces light up. I like seeing how excited they get. A lot of people watching movies or these other things in their form of entertainment. But for me, nothing is more entertaining than just seeing someone just go from having a rough day to just going what? Just makes me feel good. Okay, come here. So what was your name again? Cody. Okay, Cody, here's a few $1,000s for filming. I've had this in my pocket. And you're with Josh, right? All right, Josh, here's a few grand as well. Thank you guys for filming this. Yeah, it's been a fun episode. Thank you for watching.
What just happened?
Here on How to Take Over the World, I share the stories of the greatest men and women throughout history in order to learn from them, their strategies, tactics, habits, mindsets, and so on. And today we're deviating from that just a little bit, and we're talking about Mr. Beast, the world's most popular YouTuber. And why talk about him? He's only 25 years old, and it's true, he hasn't accomplished nearly as much as a Caesar or Thomas Edison or even a Walt Disney, who's maybe a little bit more of a direct comparison. And one of the reasons I want to take a look at his life is that if you do look at Walt Disney,
hey, how's that New Year's resolution going? What are you talking? You know, that YouTube channel you say you're gonna start? Well, yeah.
The way I like to work is like I like to go basically wake up, obsess over something, go to bed, wake up, obsess, go to bed, like every second of the day until I just have a mental breakdown and burn out, and then I like take a day off or maybe a day and a half off, and I like to go right back to it. So I don't like work certain days. I just go as hard as I can, every ounce of my entire body until I just crash.
All right, in this episode, we're going to talk about...
1 second. Look, we got to let the guy, Mr. Beast, actually do the intro.
Guys, in this, we're going to teach you how to make a fucking $1 million. If you don't have $1 million, we're going to show you in this podcast.
All right, that was way better. That's right. Mr. Beast, the biggest YouTuber in the world, joined us on My First Million. And Hassan Minhaj, one of the biggest comedians in the world. We did a 4-person pod in person. This is kind of amazing.
Yeah, so look, check this out. I think Sean actually mentioned this in the podcast, but about 3-4 weeks ago, he said he's going to create this thing called Camp MFM. So basically, he rented a house, a big old mansion in North Carolina, and he DM'd like 20 different people, a bunch of different founders and a bunch of interesting people. But then he also DM'd Mr. Beast and Hassan, and he told them to come. I didn't actually think they were going to show up. And so we were just sitting here at night recording a podcast, and they walked in and joined us, and it was amazing.
Yeah, it was crazy seeing one of the biggest YouTubers in the world, one of the biggest comedians in the world. They kind of interviewed each other, and they talked about their creative process, what they're self-conscious of, what it's like to work for them, how much they put into each thing that they do. It was pretty nice.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it was amazing. They made fun of me at first because I was nervous, and I was. It was awesome.
Yeah, it was a big deal. It was awesome.
So check it out. I think you're gonna dig it.
Wait, hold on.
We rolling?
We're rolling.
All right, we're live.
We're doing it. Right. If it's not recording, you're just not getting it.
Yeah, you're not getting it, dude. You're not getting Jimmy.
All right, we're live. Wait, what were you saying?
This is the most interesting crossover ever.
Yes.
Yeah.
Why are the 4 of us sitting here?
I have no idea.
Let's put him on the spot because he seems the most nervous.
Yeah.
Me?
Yo, he's like the body language doctor. He reads body language good, right?
Why I'm nervous? Because I'm wearing these shorts.
Yeah, bro. You're wearing the short
We also
shorts.
got a live audience here. Why? What is this?
Yeah.
There's 30 men in this house. Why?
Why is there a sausage fest? Give us answers.
This is the power of Sean's
So here,
DM.
listen, here's the deal. So the story is that you wanted to do this, and it happened in 3 weeks.
Yeah, I just hit up a bunch of people. Actually, you know what? The way it really came together was I just tweeted it out. Because if you do that shit, like, you know, just it's like a luck magnet. Good things can happen. And 100-something people signed up for it. I was scrolling through the names, and it's like, what's your Twitter handle? And one of them said Mr. Beast. And I was like, but I was like, it's a Google form. Anybody could write Mr. Beast. I was like, oh yeah, whatever, some jackass. Then he DMs me. He goes, this sounds fun. And we don't know each other.
Yeah, I don't know him at all.
And he's like, I was like, oh shit, that was real. Oh shit, this is on. We're gonna do it now. And then I was like, he's like, where are we doing it? And I was like, where does Mr. Beast live? North Carolina? I was like, yeah, we're thinking about doing it near Duke. He's like, okay, I'll come then. And then I got everybody else in after that.
You follow him on Twitter.
Well, Ben from How to Take a World retweeted him. And I was like, who's this guy? And then I tapped, and he just tweeted like 5 seconds ago, I'm hosting an NBA camp for like entrepreneurs. And I was like, oh, this looks cool. And then I just
That's how crazy luck is.
I don't know who this is, but I mean, basketball sounds fun.
And then he calls me last week. He's like, yo, I'm coming, but like, I don't know who you are. So like, what's your deal?
And here we are.
But you do that. You just walk around and call people.
Yeah, well, I just like learning. I mean, that's how.
Did you hear how he got connected with Ben?
No.
All right, so Ben over here, he is our producer, and he hosts this amazing podcast called How to Take Over the World. And how did you find it?
Bro, this is gonna get so many levels.
Someone
deep.
put him onto it.
No one has any idea what we're even talking about.
No, they
anymore.
do, because-
But Cliff, who's sitting there, told me to listen to How to Take Over the World. So I listened to it. He retweeted his tweet about the camp, and here I am. So
You know what's funny, by the way?
there's your story.
He's like, yo, this is dog shit content. Because on YouTube, you had to be on point. Like in the first 10 seconds, you needed to like grip people. He's like, this is their podcast.
I've already gone over 20 ways we could optimize this better in my head.
What are they?
All right, what would they be? Let's go.
Already 20 ways.
Well, that's how this podcast is. It's a brainstorm.
We've already switched topics like 5 times, and we didn't really hit him with like a hard one at the start. Like, what would have been better if it's like, I don't know, like you told some crazy story or something, like to hook them, or like
That's
I don't
the
know,
beauty
or
of editing.
intro him, or me for the ones who don't know. So then like they're like, oh, now I know I should have listened. Like,
All right,
well,
host
what-
the podcast for a second.
or
Do
what
our
value
10
we're
second
gonna-
intro.
Guys, in this, we're going to teach you how to make a fucking $1 million. If you don't have $1 million, we're going to show you in this podcast. Like something like that. Now they're going to listen.
All right, so here's what's interesting. We got me and Sam. We got Hassan Minhaj, who's a famous comedian, Netflix special.
We haven't announced it yet, but yeah, sure.
Breaking news. We got Jimmy, aka Mr. Beast. Craziest crossover.
Yeah, it's a wild
You guys just
crossover.
met tonight.
We met like an hour ago. Yeah.
All right, give me first impressions. What do you think of Mr. Beast?
He's a cool guy. Yeah, he seemed really cool.
What did you think coming in?
I just knew he was a big like prank stunt. He's the voice of YouTube. He's
Did
the
he
voice of a
surprise
generation.
you, or he's how you thought he'd be?
Yeah, I feel like his.
You're gonna get your turn too.
I feel like his like curiosity, enthusiasm, all that stuff was really cool. Yeah, I listened to him on Rogan. He's really fascinating.
And what about you? What was your first impression?
I mean, kind of the same thing. Like it was. I mean, you were just easy to talk to, which I think was very nice. Like we were talking for like an hour.
Yo, Sean just turned this into Indian matchmaking so fast. You're like, what did you think? What did you
Hold hands.
Come on, bro.
Hold hands.
Hey,
Just hold.
look, you see that ring on his finger? Just take it.
Yeah, I'm taking that.
Dude, he said something really interesting to me earlier. You and I were shooting the shit,
Oh God, what is it?
and we were talking about business. I think you said Elon Musk is like, I don't know if you said hero, but you're like, I think he's like the pinnacle of entrepreneurship.
I'm sure.
And I was like, well, what's going to be your SpaceX, or what's going to be your like big rocket thing, you know? And you said, well, Elon had Zip2 when he was around my age. So Zip2 was like his peer sharing service that he sold, and he made like $20 or $30 million.
Yeah.
And then he took that and he did PayPal and then whatever else he did. And you said something like, I think I can build like $100 billion company, but if I'm being modest, I'll build a couple at least $1 billion companies.
Yeah.
But then you go, but I don't really care about the money. I just love winning. I just want to win. And I was like, yes,
Sounds about right.
I'm about this. I like that.
I mean, like money is cool, but I live in my studio. I don't have like a mansion. I don't drive a Lamborghini, so it's like I like money because it can.
Calls, meetings, reminders, quotes, estimates, invoices. Whoa. There's a lot that happens before we close this dream deal. Well, let's face it. Your deal is not really done until your client makes the...
I can hire more people and grow my business, but not so I can like increase my lifestyle or whatever. So, which, most people, when you say, that's why I prefer to say I love winning, because it kind of encapsulates it a little bit more. Because if you just like, talk about money, then people just think you just want to buy expensive stuff.
Do your employees
we went to his office today, or we went to his studio, and he's like, took us on tour. Cool. This is where we blow shit up. This guy's trapped.
Sean blew me off, by the way.
Yeah. You were
Air
supposed to be
Canada flight delays blew him off. Yeah.
Kidding.
but we walked through. He's like, all right, yeah, this is this boardroom. This is my office. And so we go in, and it's basically like, imagine like kind of like a gaming chair, computer. That's standard. Next to it, just like 2 other objects in the room. Just take any guess.
That he had?
Yeah.
An Nalgene water bottle and
just like a mattress on the floor.
A bench press directly next to the desk. And then the walls were just like a Steve Jobs quote, an Elon quote, a Steve Jobs quote. And then like a timeline, like at this age, Steve Jobs was here. At this age,
holy shit.
You're motivated by
I
that
get
shit.
to stay ahead of it. Also, some of those Elon quotes aren't even real. I love to just put fake Elon quotes, so if people read it, to see if they're like, oh, that's inspiring, or just completely made up.
Well, they're not that insightful. One was just one right in front of your desk goes, work super hard. Elon Musk.
No, that's one of the real ones. But I have my assistant like trying to find the dumbest things Elon's ever publicly said. so I can put mixed with all the real quotes just to see if people believe them or not.
Were you good at school?
No, horrible.
Really?
God awful.
Wow.
Yeah, that was like, I mean, I would act like I was studying, but you know, I was film videos. I actually, my entire high school career, never brought my book back home or anything. I would just like throw it under like the bleachers, and then in the morning I'd just grab it.
Your first video was what? You were like 12, right?
Yeah. Oh, actually, I started making when I was 11. Yeah.
Wow. Holy shit.
So, and yeah, and it's crazy because I see 11-year-olds now, and they're like this tall and speakers, and I'm like, how was I making videos? This kid looks.
Is your first video still live?
No, because I got embarrassed because people would play it in class. So I deleted my channel, and then I made a new one when I was 13.
Wow, but the 13-year-old videos are still live.
Yeah, 13 or so.
Wow.
He
Okay.
has one that's dope. That's like a message to myself in 5 years. Calling his shot.
Do you know what he's talking about? So
No.
the greatest thing I ever did in my life is when I was studying for a history test, like back in a long time ago, when I had like 8,000 subscribers. I was like, screw this. I just closed my book. I threw it on the floor, and I just recorded a video. I uploaded a video for 6 months. And I go, hi, me in 6 months. I think I'll have 100,000 subscribers, whatever. Or no, 10,000 subscribers. I was like, and then I hit stop recording, then hit record. Hi, me in a year. And I schedule up, because you can upload videos to the future, a video a year out. It's like, you better have 100,000. And I was like, hi, me in 5 years. Bro, if you don't have 1 million subscribers, you're a fucking idiot. And I just would talk to me 5 years from now, and I was just like talking about the channel. But I filmed it when I had 8,000 subscribers a long time ago. And then I did Hi Me in 10 years, blah, blah. So 10 years hasn't come out yet. But Hi Me in 5 years came out. My prediction was I'd have 1 million subscribers. So
Wow.
it goes live on the channel like 2 years ago. And I had like 40 million subscribers. But in the video that goes live, it's like, here's the date, here's the time. I'm like a fucking stupid teenage kid. And I'm like, I hope you have at least 1 million subscribers. And maybe you're doing this as a job. I don't know. I make like $10 a month right now. Like, I hope you can make it a job in the next 5 years. And that went public. And I completely forgot I even did that. And I was like, oh shit. I opened up YouTube and I saw it. And everyone thought I thought it was one of the coolest things I ever did.
Wow. And you're like a little kid in it.
Yeah. And so in like 3 more years, Hi Me in 10 years goes up. And I'm like,
You remember what's in it?
I'm just like, I hope by now you should be out of college. Yeah, you're definitely out of college. I think that's how I started it. And you should be doing YouTube full time. Like, there's just no world you're not after 10 years. Like, you're probably making a little bit of money. I just hope you are. Like, I hope you didn't.
And how much were you at the time?
Like I had 8K subs, like making $10 a month. And so my prediction in 10 years was like, I hope you're doing this as a job. And so when that goes up, I think that's gonna be crazy.
And when we were talking today, you talked with a lot of certainty about like where you're going, what you're doing. There's like if everybody's got this knob that's like doubt, your knob's set to 0 on doubt. That's my. I don't know, is that accurate?
Yeah. Well, the thing is, I don't know. We probably spend like 20, 30 times longer thinking of ideas than other people. We probably film like 10 times more than other people. We probably spend 100 times for a video more than other people. So it's like we put in the effort, but I don't know how to say where it's not arrogant. I just believe in what we're doing. You know what I mean?
Back then, like how much do you think you believed when you recorded that video that was actually gonna happen?
Oh no, I mean those were just different times. I was in the middle of bumfuck nowhere, North Carolina. So it's like everyone, constantly wanted to remind me, you're not going to be a YouTuber. Grow up, be realistic.
I think it's amazing that you never left North Carolina, though.
Yeah,
That's
you're
really
still
cool.
in bumfuck North
That's
Carolina. What are you
crazy.
talking about?
Yeah.
I'm trying to make it not bumfuck anymore, but it's a work in progress.
Do you still rap it really hard?
I mean, I got a lot. I mean, some of these people over here work there. I just got a lot of people, and it's too much to move.
What was your metric instead of subscribers and like views when you were younger? Because with business, it's like revenue or employees. You guys are both business, but you're also like a more creative thing. So what was yours?
Yeah, when I was coming up, it was probably, can you do a set on late night? Can you do like a Conan set?
Ooh.
Yeah. Could you be on? I'll be a cast member of SNL. Like those were the metrics, kind of those like legacy media comedy institutions. I'll be in a movie. I want to be in a sitcom. I want to be in a TV show.
And what did it feel like when you started actually like, the Daily Show and then selling out?
Yeah, that felt like a real like kind of check mark. Like, wow, you turned the corner.
Didn't
in your
you tell
life
me
and career moment.
that like right before that happened, you were living in the basement?
I was living in an attic, bro. Attics are actually above sea level, but basements are below sometimes, So yeah, I was living like a kind of in a not a great situation. I'm amazed at your confidence, bro.
Let me show you how I'm using Grammarly's AI tools when I'm feeling less than creative at work. I do a lot of copywriting at work, but I have just overused the word special, and I need to.
The level of confidence, like
in the video,
there's just a sheer amount of confidence you have. Because I still think maybe a downside of comedy is you have to have like a very high level of
well, comedians are usually messed up.
self-deprecation and self-awareness to be like, you know what I mean?
Well, you told me something because I was like trying to be funny.
Right.
And you sent me these like iMessage things that are like just gold. Where you just send me these voice notes. And one of the things you had said,
he was trying to write it. He was like trying to do kind of like a comedy monologue.
Yeah,
and,
YouTube video, it's up there, 17,000 views, no big deal.
Yeah.
But you gave me a little hit. You go,
The ego on this man.
I know.
bro, you started at 8K. I'm at 17K. I'm at least gonna
Yeah.
be. But he says something. You go, comedy is low status game. You start low status. You told me, is that a trade secret or? Can
it's like there's high status and low status. Generally, if you're low status, they're gonna empathize with you. You know what I mean? So
like, what's an example? You get on stage.
You being like, I got 17,000 views in front of a guy who gets like 50 million views, and
Right.
but
That was
we're
unintentional.
gonna
I was
empathize
bragging.
more with you than we are with Mr. Beast in that scenario, because you're like, oh man, and if you're like funny about it and to be confident about that, well, if you kind of own it, people are like, oh, like
Even just now, we did like an awkward icebreakers of the group.
Yeah.
And I was thinking about this because, my prompt was say your name and say one thing nobody in the room knows about you.
Yeah.
Which was basically like, you can't be like, oh, I'm Mr. Beast. I make a bunch of YouTube videos. It's like, you can't use your claim to fame. You got to use something else.
Right.
And everybody was saying something interesting. And then I think Sully was the first one who was just like, I played one game of Little League baseball in my life because I shit my pants and they wouldn't let me come back.
That was really great. Yeah.
And
that
now
was low
that's,
status.
by the way, 100,000 people are going to listen to that one. But he did a low status one where everybody else was saying a fun like a cool fact about them.
Totally.
He went low, and somebody else was like, I remarried my ex-wife, which makes me either the biggest idiot in the world, or I guess the biggest idiot in the world. I still remember those, right? Because
He's like, hey, group, share something no one on the planet knows. No one. And then 5 minutes later, all right, podcast, here's what they said.
Yeah. I mean, shitting your pants at Little League. Pretty low status. And then being like, all right, I double backed and married my ex-wife again. Like,
Like no one knows this.
Jimmy, were you confident as a kid
in the career?
Yeah,
just as a kid.
No, I fucking got off the acting when I was younger. I still have a ton of acting scars, so
what are you
even worse?
What are you not confident about? So you're confident in your work and your ability to hit certain goals, whether revenue targets.
Actually, it leads me into, honestly, I'm still trying to get confident speaking in front of large groups of people, which made me want to ask you a question because we were talking about stand-up.
Yeah.
How so let's say if I dedicated my life to trying to be a stand-up comic, how long do you think it would take for me to get good at it?
I mean,
what's the typical curve?
Everybody says it takes you 10 years to get good, but I just think it all depends on like your natural capacity and inclination for it.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's some people I've seen when they're open micers, they're amazing. They just have great stage presence. They have great stories. They're amazing on stage. So there's people like that, comics that I met where I'm like, the first time I saw them, they were amazing. Gerard Carmichael was like that. He was incredible. He was just incredible. He was so comfortable. We would do open mics and he would just, everybody was turning left and he was just turning right. Like just his vulnerability, his stage presence. People would do their set. He would do things where like, it'd be like a Conan showcase and everyone would do their polished material. They're like, hey, what's up? I'm hustling and dating's hard. He would just get up and he would just off the dome, like kind of do a brand new set that night. And you could tell you're like, oh, this is kind of crazy.
So how long do you think it would take him to get good?
That's like the question you just asked is like, how long would it take me to be as good as Ariana Grande at singing? You're like, how would I even? They're like, it's not a hack like. Or if you ask like a MMA fighter, like, how long would it take me to get as good as you? Like, it's oh, thank you. It's a. See, that's you put them in low status. You offered the two waters to me. Now I feel weird. No, I gotta put them on the side. No, I gotta put them on the side. No, dude, low status.
I spent my whole life trying to be high
status.
You
guys all got the water. Now I'm parched.
That sounds way easier.
Yeah. I have to give Mr. Beast his water. You know what I mean?
Jimmy, what are your
you legacy media hack? And I gotta pour the water for him. And get the fuck out of here.
Is your company ran like a normal company at all, or and what would your employees say about working with you?
I mean, Tariq, just comes that.
Damn.
I don't know.
Yeah,
that's a Tariq question. That's a Tariq question.
I don't know.
Have you had like? How did you learn how to run a company? Did you have to hire someone?
That's what's hard because like, yeah, sure. He wants to come on a That there's a couple questions. Yeah, you take it.
So the question was like,
what's it like working with him?
Oh, it's great. I mean, it's always different. No, it really is. It's always, here's the thing. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. No, here's the thing. Here's the thing.
We know it's great.
You're fired.
I'm fired. I'm already fired.
Like the house crew can answer that, but not.
Well, listen.
He pays the bills.
Let me ask you a better question.
Yes.
All right, so the better question is, what's the
fucking employers?
what's the like either extreme good part or extreme bad part about working with him? We know it's overall extreme.
Actually, I will say that right now. For real. So extreme good part is the experiences. Like I've done experiences that I've never could have imagined in my entire life, like the traveling, the doing the coolest stunts that we've ever done. The worst part is I guess not knowing like what's next in terms of routine, and he knows this best too. Like we all kind of go through it if you work at Mr. Beast. So, but that comes with it, you know what I mean? And that's something that you kind of have to accept. But yeah, I think that's my answer.
Well, and the reason I was asking was because you.
Am I your favorite boss? I'm a great person.
So far, 100%. Yes.
Well, no, I was asking because my employees sometimes would complain that I'd be like too aggressive, changing things too much. But you seem more aggressive than I am.
Yeah.
And for a certain type of person, they like that. But for you to achieve your goals, you're going to have a lot of people, and then every once in a while process, and every once in a while infrastructure, and every once in a while planning.
Are you a perfectionist?
Well, of course. Yeah. I just like to make the greatest YouTube videos possible, and that's literally all I want. So yeah, I mean, if it's not the greatest video, I just want to upload it. It's after you scrap a few videos, everyone, just kind of starts to figure it out.
Does it scare you that you can't stop? You ever feel like, damn, I'm just throwing all these coals on the embers of the algorithm?
I like to use a better analogy. It's like a treadmill. We're on like 12, the 12 speed, and I've been going at a couple of years. No, it doesn't scare me, but so I was telling him, the way I like to work is like I like to go basically wake up, obsess over something, go to bed, wake up, obsess, go to bed, like every second of the day until I just have a mental breakdown, I burn out, and then I like take a day off or maybe a day and a half off, and I like to go right back to it. So I don't like work certain days. I just go as hard as I can, every ounce of my entire body until I just crash. And somehow that's sustainable.
What time do you sleep?
Right now, usually around 3 a.m.
Wow.
Yeah,
and then you get up at like
whenever Rohan or one of them knock on my door.
Tariq will wake you up and just like.
Well, yeah, people will roll me out of bed. They're like, "You need to go watch this video so we can submit it," or "I need help with the thumbnail," or "You got to go film." It's like, I don't know. I'm kind of. They tell me what to do. I don't dictate.
Well, I'm
my
just
life
shocked
anymore.
at like the numbers. So like you're I'll let you reveal any numbers, but you've some big numbers for revenue for your other businesses.
Yeah.
And you have to have infrastructure for that. So that's why I was wondering, because you are like this.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah. So
on the stereotype, you're like this crazy creative person who's disorganized, and that's perfect.
Yeah.
But to sell that much of candy or of burgers, like you got to be.
Yeah, so those are all separate entities. So for our snack brand, we hired Jim, who helped build RX Bar, and we built a team around him. So that's a whole independent company that doesn't even work out of our studio. And same thing with Beast Burger. So that's the beauty. I like to just find people who are just the best in the goddamn world at their job, and then just empower them and give them money. And
so how many people work at the studio?
In the studio, like 60, because we don't have enough space to fit everyone. So that's why we're trying to build more, but building things just take forever.
Do people like working for you think? No, the reason I'm asking is like these like creative types. I'm like curious about because the goal is to make one of us like a big deal. Everyone is working for that, whereas a lot of other companies, it's like no, there's like this.
It's not necessarily that either. There's also certain projects where I'd be like, I'd love to learn from you. So there's been shows and movies that I've done, like The Morning Show. Like I've never done a sexy 1 hour drama. I want to learn from Reese Witherspoon. I want to learn from Jennifer Aniston. I want to learn from the show creators. Like, how do you do that? How do you shoot that? What's that lens? What are you doing that? Is that a 50? Is that a 75? How did you do that tracking?